Hello and welcome to the program. This week, it was announced that stay-at-home orders to fight the spread of COVID-19, the coronavirus for the state of Texas, were being extended to the end of April. And for Dallas County, the orders have been extended through May 20th. And although we know that it is for our own good and for the safety of our community, some people are going a little stir-crazy and are having a really difficult time. And as we stay holed up in our homes, watching or listening to endless reports about what is happening both health-wise and economically, we have to think this is the stuff of movies. But dealing with the coronavirus and its impact on our daily lives, on our economy in real life, is not like watching a movie. It is causing higher levels of anxiety, depression, and we all need to be paying attention to not only our physical health, but our mental health right now. Trauma specialist Audrey calls the stress that some people are feeling right now pandemic stress. Audrey is an award-winning certified addiction and trauma therapist. She is a spiritual counselor, and she joins me on the phone right now to talk about how we can deal with pandemic stress. Audrey, thank you so much for joining me today.
Wonderful to be here because the world needs hope, and I hope we give it to them today because it has tremendous beneficial effects for the immune system.
I think that when all of this first started, people kind of laughed it off. And then as it became more serious and we saw what was going on in Italy and around the world and then how it was impacting us here in the United States, all of a sudden the fear started setting in. How would you define pandemic stress and how is it different from other kinds of stress?
Well, it is a very specific stress, okay? It's like a new disease has happened. We haven't found the immunity yet. It has spread all over the world beyond our wildest expectations, and people actually feel that they're going to get sick, in this case, the coronavirus, right? And then they stress themselves out just from the very thought of it. So it becomes a panic and a stress that actually affects the immune system from the panic itself, which is what we have the power to heal. And I want to talk about that today.
Our leaders at the federal, state, and local levels tell us not to panic, Audrey, but watching the press conferences and seeing the number of cases rise, it's kind of hard not to panic, especially when it's affecting people's finances. How can we deal with the stress of what is happening right now? What tips do you have?
Well, first of all, what is fear and stress? It has a negative outcome, right? A negative endpoint. Okay, it's not really real. It's an imagined outcome. It hasn't happened yet. So we have to understand the positive effects of this. I said to my husband this morning, it's like we all went home to meditate. We all went home to regroup. And so there are so many things that are happening that are helping us. People are changing what they're doing in their lives. They're reorganizing their businesses. They're getting together as a group, helping each other. The climate is already healing. So in spirituality, things have to break, right? You have to break eggs to make an omelet. There's alchemy. Things have to change. They have to break. And that's what's going on karmically in the world. Things are really breaking. And I say to the world, hold on. Just hold on. We are going to transform. There will be positive outcomes from this. Yes, a lot of people will die, but the world needs to wake up. I mean, nothing else has been able to do what this virus has done. Suddenly, it doesn't matter whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. Suddenly, you are a human being, and we're all in this together, and we need to be a group. There is so much scientific evidence, Anna, of what can happen. I love the science because it helps me in my work, about what can happen if we globally get together as a group consciousness and heal the planet.
What are some of the negative effects of pandemic stress when we're not focused on the good that is happening around us, when we're not focused, as Mr. Rogers would say, on the helpers, the people leading the charge to help one another during this time?
Absolutely have to answer that, because what is the basis of all sickness and health, okay? Stress, the effect it has on the body, it's the number one killer. It elevates the blood pressure, causes anxiety, depression, heart problems, cancer. It completely weakens the immune system, which actually heightens the chance of getting the virus. So you raise the immune system by, of course, good self-care, supplements, drinking a lot of water, drinking hot liquids. You know, we're supposed to drink hot liquids every 20 minutes. The reason for that is it keeps the mouth moist, right? And it actually can, help us. The gargling, the salt water, and the consistent hand washing. These are all the practical things that can actually neutralize the virus if it's there. So we follow the protocols, right? But we also have to work on our mind. We have to shut off the TV, Anna. We have to stay, educated. But the news is very toxic, and it really will put us in fear. So there's a media hype about it. If you also look at the death proportions of our daily lives, people die from flus, cardiovascular disease, car accidents. Those rates are very high, and you don't see us freaking out about that every day. So let's put it in perspective, okay? We've gone through things before. We've gone through war before, right? So the media has an energy, a toxic gas. Please be careful about that. They say if you read a magazine, you can feel ugly, right? Women can feel ugly in like 3 seconds. Oh, I wish I had a, better body, better this. Imagine what the news is doing. Oh my God, I'm gonna get it. I've been doing healing for 20 years. Energy medicine is very important. Frequency medicine. It was Tesla who said, if we could eliminate certain frequencies that interfere with our bodies, we could lower disease. So let's do that. Let's do what we can on a deep spiritual level. Let's watch the toxic gas energetically from the TV.
I find myself when I am watching too much news that I start feeling symptoms.
Yes.
I get the tickle in the throat, which is more allergy related than coronavirus related, but I'm taking my temperature in the morning and at night, and I'm washing my hands, and I'm social distancing. I'm following the stay-at-home orders. We're considered essential employees, but we're taking all the precautions, and yet, if you give yourself all that information from the news source, all of a sudden you start feeling like you're coming down with the virus. So you're absolutely right. Turn off the TV, get more entertainment, listen to your radio as far as music is concerned, sing along with the radio, dance with the radio, and that's going to help build your immune system.
Absolutely. Meditation. Meditation means requieting the mind. It's like a shield. It's like a shield around you to stop all of this energy that's hurting us. So, all of these studies of group consciousness in the world, like this, I was reading today about the Maharishi University, where they all got together. I think about 1,800 people got together and meditated. They actually changed the violent crime statistics. Okay, so think about that. The collectiveness of what we can do individually, like meditation, and then globally. So I would ask you, Anna, what are you doing to meditate, to change those negative thoughts and calming the body and feeding and nourishing yourself with the hope that there will be a brighter day? Those of us who have been in a spiritual healing have known that something was coming. And we were constantly being challenged to get stronger and stronger. So there's a tremendous opportunity to utilize this time now, to regroup, look at our selfishness, reflect. Why has this happened, Anna? On a deeper level. That's the question I ask your viewers. Why did this happen? This is not normal. This is a very strange thing, right? And in my work with people in trauma, I always say, go higher. Look up. What's the deeper meaning for something? What is this inspiring you to heal? So I ask that globally. What is this doing to all of us? You see, on Facebook, I said, well, people, tell me, what's happening to you from this? What is changing? Are you realizing you don't need as much? Are you more grateful? just for the simple things. So if you want to talk about God and spirituality, the universe is going to win. We're going to be changed. Let's stop fighting it and go with it and say, okay, what is this inspiring in us to change? And that's why when I work with addiction and people have been really, oh my God, the stories of what's happened to people is so horrifying. But there's a tremendous opportunity. Where we stumble, there lies our treasure. That's Joseph Campbell. So there's always, you're addicted, you come into our facility, I work at Seasons, yes, but you're on your knees, and now we can look up. Now we can see what this addiction has brought you. And caterpillar to butterfly, leave is the butterfly. You see? So it's really the concept of that, you see?
My guest once again on the phone right now, Audrey Hope, an award-winning certified addiction and trauma therapist, and we're talking about dealing with pandemic stress, the coronavirus impacting all of our lives, and as we get used to a new normal where we're asked to stay at home and social distance, we may find ourselves sinking into depression or feeling extremely anxious about what the future holds. And Audrey is here with tips for us on meditating, on making sure that we're taking care of one another and finding things to be grateful for. For parents, Audrey, who are stressed right now, who are trying their best to hide it from their kids, what advice do you have?
Well, I was just asked this. I just wrote about this yesterday. Time to be mindful and spiritual. It's not good to hide things from kids, Anna, really. Working in addiction for so long, kids know a lot. And, I know parents like to protect their kids and hide it, but they know. So it's very good to have a dialogue. Very good to discuss things and put it in a positive context. Get together in the living room and have a conversation and talk about, listen, I've been personally through the fires too. LA just got over fires. And, that was quite something and traumatic too. And so again, divine fire, opportunity for everyone to sit together and really regroup and group meditation, too. Kids love to meditate. They really do. Did you know that?
I did not know that. So parents, teach your kids right now how to meditate.
Yes, they love it. They love to sit down and learn those things. And so it's an opportunity for family time. Get together. Quiet down. And no, tell the kids, things are going to get better. Yeah, always have that positive outlook. Everything happens for the highest good. So another way is affirmations, right? This too shall pass. This will have a happy ending. We will grow from this, you see, and doing that. And being in nature, the park, walking outside, the trees. And I see my neighbors walking out, keeping social distance, but it's so healing to breathe the fresh air, look at the sun, look at the birds, and take time out from all of the concentration on the trauma.
Do you find that this coronavirus pandemic, that what it has created in our minds is that it is taking us from that me to we mentality, where instead of being self-centered, we're thinking of ourselves as a community, because social distancing is not necessarily about us. It's about taking care of our community, our loved ones as a whole.
Absolutely. And as you were speaking, Anna, I was getting chills. I really was feeling chills because, my neighborhood, they're just doing so many things for each other.
Mm-hmm.
Shopping for the elderly, asking if anyone needs help, saying hello as we walk our dogs. We're getting back to basics. It had to happen. Where were we going as a nation? All this hate, division. The universe will always do what it needs to do, like nature. So there's a really, really tremendous healing going on. And, in healing and trauma, it's alchemy. Again, I use that word. Changing. Transforming, really changing, not just talking about it. And so I find that this should be a tremendous opportunity. And people that are positive, hang around them. Hang around positive people. Does your audience have a book that they never got around to writing? The project they never got to doing? Well, guess what? The universe gave us time now.
Yeah.
We have time now to do the things we never had to do. And, this too shall pass. So my question would be, what have you learned from this already?
Find the things that make you happy, whether it is connecting with someone via social media or a Zoom meeting or FaceTime. Just find ways to stay connected, because during this time that we can't be hugging or shaking hands or touching each other, it is important to stay connected as human beings.
Yes, and I also want to say the power of sound, music. Music is a high vibration. Do you know that if things are measured in hertz, the sound frequency, and if the body hears sounds above 528 hertz, it will begin to heal. There are studies on this. People who have gone into soundproof rooms. So if we listen, and YouTube is filled with these frequencies, anything above 528 is very healing for the body. It can actually heal damage to the DNA and restore equilibrium. And this is also known as Solfeggio scales, which have been used by ancient priests, ancient sacred movements, the Gregorian chants. So keep yourself fed on a sound wave, which you can play all over your house. Listen to sounds that inspire you. Classical music is also a very high vibration. And who doesn't love music, Anna?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Play the Beatles, man. Play the Beatles.
Britney Spears, whatever you love.
Because it's very healing scientifically to the body. The cells need to vibrate at a high frequency. So one of the secrets of healing, and I love miracle-minded healing. I work with it. Who doesn't love it, right? I work energetically because the body, if someone is experiencing trauma, go inside the body and scan yourself. Where in the body are you feeling the pain? What does it look like? You see, right? And get acquainted with what the trauma looks like. And then do a counter, an antidote to it. Release it. You can't just talk about trauma, Anna. You have to release it on an energetic level. Grief, too. If anyone out there has lost someone to the virus, you can't just say, I'm okay, I'm fine. Talk to a therapist. It doesn't work. There has to be a real physical, emotional release from the body. You have to walk it out, scream it out, cry it out. You see, so real trauma healing is about going inside the body as if you had a flashlight, seeing where it is, and then releasing it. I say it's like a storage bin in a closet. We cannot keep it and say we're okay. It's beyond the rational mind. We have to go beyond the rational mind into the body. So one of the meditations I made yesterday was to feed the cells. I imagined this beautiful healing light like the sun. The sun is so healing. And opening the head and imagining the light going through the body as the sunlight and feeding and nourishing the cells so they rise to a higher frequency, which will combat the disease. So is it the disease, the virus itself, or the panic that is killing us?
My guest once again on the phone, Audrey Hope, an award-winning certified addiction and trauma therapist, and we've been talking about dealing with pandemic stress. In the age of coronavirus, we need to know how to take care of our mental health as well as our physical health. Thank you so much, Audrey.
I have loved being here, Anna. Thank you for sharing this time with me.